Hi, I'm Andrea from Italy, and I hope to arrive to Santiago and maybe to finish there. And I hope this Camino can help me to change my life.
I'm hoping walking the Camino will tell me why I want to walk the Camino. It's probably about change for me and sort of negotiating within myself what change I want and whether it's worth it. And it's great having a friend here doing it with me.
I heard about the Camino doing World Youth Day in 2013, and it was there that I first found out about the Camino, and it just seemed like the kind of pilgrimage that you would go on. Like, it just seemed like the natural progression to explore your faith a bit more deeply. We've been so welcomed, haven't we?
Yeah.
We had beautiful pilgrim masses and blessings.
Yeah.
Had a gorgeous one last night by the singing nuns.
Oh, goosebumps thinking about it. Amazing. So yeah, it was the Santa Maria Cathedral, and the nuns sang. We're both music teachers, so so that made our day, and probably our Camino actually. So it was beautiful.
My name's Kathy, and I am 24 days into walking the Camino. I'm almost halfway finished. I think I heard of the Camino first in a history class way back in college, and have always thought that's something that should be on my bucket list, something that I should do sometime in my life. And I guess with the pandemic, you know, everybody is like, what can we do when we're free? And somehow the Camino came back to me, and that combined with, I'm turning 60 in June, so finishing the Camino before I turned 60 seemed to me like a proper feat. I don't know more spiritual reasons for walking the Camino. I don't know that I have all of those reasons, though I was raised Catholic, so I enjoy going into the churches and seeing the history and walking on steps that thousands of people have walked before, walking on Roman roads, seeing Roman bridges, it makes history come alive. So those are all a bunch of reasons for wanting to walk the Camino. The Camino surprises me every day. When I'm walking, right now I'm on the Meseta, and every day as I'm walking, the birds sing and the poppies are blooming, and there's beauty all around. The intrinsic beauty of Spain is really amazing, and it's I don't know that I expected, for example, to see poppies blooming, but they're here and they're beautiful, and so Spain surprises me every single day. So early on, I met up with a Japanese-American woman. She's 80 years old, and she's walking the Camino. She's not taking any buses. She's not relying on other modes of transportation. She's walking the entire Camino, and she's amazing and inspirational. She's told me stories. We meet up in one city and we go our own separate way, and then a few days later we meet up again, and she talked about her life moving to the United States and raising her daughter and so forth, and her dream is to move back to Japan, and that's where she would like to die. But as she's been walking on the Camino, she's come up with inspiration. She would like to do something with, there's, I guess, it's not called a Camino, but there's a pilgrimage from temple to temple in Japan, and I don't remember how many there are, 45 or 80, a lot of temples, and she was thinking that she would like to set up something so that people can go to the country, go to Japan, and feel comfortable doing that pilgrimage. And so we'll see. She also wants to write a book, and she talked about her first day. She went from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port to Roncesvalles in one day. Many people break that up into 2 days because it's up the Pyrenees, down the Pyrenees, and it's pretty strenuous. So she made it to the top with her backpack, and then she looked at the steep incline she had to go down, and she didn't know how she was going to get down the second half of the journey. And she said this strong guy wearing his own backpack picked up her backpack, put it on his front, and took her backpack down the hill for her, and she didn't think she would have made it down without that. So, she said on her very first day she met her very first Camino angel. What's the daily life of a pilgrim like? First of all, is getting up, and that's not an easy process. You can think you're going to get up at 6:30 and start walking at 7:15, 7:30, but then people start rustling around all around you at 5:15, and then you're awake. Or maybe you're the first one awake and you need to pack your bag as quietly as possible so you don't disturb other people. So it's always a challenge, especially in a dorm kind of room where there's 10 or 12 people sleeping in the same room. But anyway, bag packed, start your day either with coffee if you can find some place open. If not, your coffee's 2 hours down the road. And so stopping for coffee and breakfast is always a good thing to do partway down the road. And when you get to the town you want to stay in, if you haven't reserved an albergue, a hostel, you've got to try to find one before all the beds are gone. And then once you do that, take a shower, all the clothes you're wearing come off so you can wash them, and your one other set of clothes, that's what you put on. And after showering, then it's time to go find the laundry area. Usually there's sinks outside with places to hang your clothes, and hopefully they dry in the sun. That gets complicated if it rains, but and then find something to eat. What's nice in some albergues is they offer a pilgrim meal in the evening, so not Spanish time. You're not eating at 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. You're eating at about 6:30, because most pilgrims are in bed, sound asleep by 8:30 or 9 o'clock, because they've got to get up. We've got to get up and start it all over again the next day. One challenge is you get to an albergue and there's 8 or 10 or 12 people sleeping in the same room. If there's only one outlet to charge your phone, everybody wants to charge their phone, and that can be a problem. many albergues have started putting a nice power outlet there, so a number of people can charge their phone at the same time, and that definitely helps. One thing people say is when they get home from doing their Camino, that they are excited to tell everybody they know about it, and people want to see about 12 pictures and then they want to be done, and they don't have the patience to listen to your Camino story, so people tend to find other people who've walked the Camino so they can just keep talking about, do you remember when, or did this happen to you, and relive their memories from the Camino.
So I'm Brittany, and
Tom.
This is Tom. And yeah, what brought us to the Camino? Well, Tom, this is his second Camino, right?
It is.
And so when Tom came back from his first Camino, the seed was planted. And then for me, over the last few years, I've experienced some challenges. I'm not sure why I'm here, but I think those challenges might be part of it. I had cancer and went through treatment, totally cancer-free now. But I felt called. I felt called before the cancer, but after the cancer, it was like, all right, let's make this happen. I want to do it.
Hi, I'm Jane and I'm from England. I live in a little town called Peacehaven, just along from Brighton on the south coast. I started in St John on the 19th of April. It's now the 7th May, can't remember, 6th of May. And I'm walking all the way to Santiago, and there's a few reasons I'm here. Partly I lost my husband last year in May to cancer, and I brought some of his ashes and I'm spreading them along the way. And I'll also be commemorating my father who died 38 years ago and my brother who died 9 years ago. Yeah, and so far so good. It's beautiful. It's absolutely, we've been very blessed with the weather, very blessed.
I'm Mark from Belgium. I was a general practitioner until the end of March, and I was thinking how do I make a transition from my professional life to this new life, and I thought maybe the Camino can help me in doing this. But the second, but maybe more important reason is I lost a very good friend who did already three Caminos, and he was preparing himself for a new one. I'm a general practitioner. I saw him on my consultation, and he told me he had a new project, and 2 weeks after I got a phone from his son that he was hit by a car and he was dead on the place, and I've got something from him. His wife gave me something to take with to Santiago.
Thought I'd come up to this park that I know about that has a great view of the cathedral, thinking it would be a nice quiet place to make a recording, but there's a Ferris wheel off in the distance and lots of music, so this is probably not the place. Here I am in the Plaza de Obradoiro with the cathedral behind me. It's hard to see, it's pretty tall. But this is where all the pilgrims come first, and then they go get their certificates and somehow get rid of their backpacks, take it to their albergue or whatever, because you can't go in the cathedral with backpacks. And many people go and partake in the pilgrim mass. There's one at 12 o'clock noon every afternoon, and they announce all of the places pilgrims started from and what country they come from, and that makes it pretty special. You can probably hear the bagpiper in the tunnel, which is on the other side of the cathedral. He plays there, he or she, there's a couple of different bagpipers, play there almost all day, every day. When I went to my pilgrim mass, it was Sunday. They had just installed the new archbishop, so he served mass, and the botafumero, the big incense burner, swung at the end of mass. That doesn't happen every day or even every week. It happens kind of randomly, so I felt very lucky to be able to see that. I saw it once before when I spent a month here in Santiago. It was special then. It was extra special this time because I had done the Camino. I love the juxtaposition of the little putt-putt bus over there, the tour bus, with the ancientness, timelessness of the cathedral. Here we see people hanging out in the plaza. Up these stairs is straight ahead on the right-hand side is the Plaza de Obradoiro, where the cathedral is. On the left-hand side, where you see the flags, that's the Parador. It's right now an expensive hotel, but it was once a pilgrim hospital. Down that street there at the end on the left is where the pilgrim office is. If you were going to continue walking to Finisterre, the end of the world, you'd go down that street. Pilgrim office here in Santiago, where all the pilgrims come. It's about a block away from the main plaza, and everybody's outside because there's a QR code that everybody needs to scan and register their name and information, and then they go in and get their official Compostela certificate. There's also a distance certificate if people want to get that, that tells where they started and how many kilometers they walked. This is the Church of San Fructuoso. It's a cool and welcoming place. There's music playing all day long. Found a quiet place here in the garden at the place I'm staying at, which is a nice place to reflect. I arrived in Santiago a couple of days ago, and they say that you may not know what the Camino means for quite a while, that it will come to you in bits and pieces, and I suppose that's true. I know when I arrived to the Plaza de Obradoiro that it was, I saw the cathedral in front of me, and I had so many mixed emotions: happiness to have arrived, sad for the Camino to be over with, wondering what it all meant, still wondering, what are all the reasons that I walked the Camino. Proud of myself for walking 790 kilometers. And I don't know, along the way I thought of so many people in my life, people I'm thankful for, people who've passed away, people who are still in my life, my family, and I think I'll carry them with me always. I remember one day, about a week ago, maybe 10 days ago, walking, I saw this beautiful field full of daisies and buttercups. I hadn't seen many daisies, I hadn't seen buttercups before, but here was a whole field of both of the two flowers together, and buttercups and daisies were my grandmother's favorite flower, and seeing them there reminded me of her, kind of brought her spirit to me, and felt like she walked with me for the rest of the day. My grandmother passed away at the age of 96 in the year 2000, and even though she lived a long life, we miss her terribly, and thought of my mom, thought of other people who aren't with us any longer, thought of all the former pilgrims. Many pilgrims, it's a popular thing to do these days, to walk the Camino, but I thought of all of the former pilgrims through the centuries. We were walking in the same steps that they walked in, and the Camino is a historic pathway. It's been there for centuries and centuries, and it almost feels like it's alive. It stays alive because of the pilgrims walking it, and that's very special. I think I'll probably learn more and more about what the Camino actually has meant, through time, and maybe I'll come back and walk another Camino someday. It seems that many people, as they're walking a Camino, start planning their next one. There's many different routes, and it would be so interesting to see more of Spain by traveling one of the other Caminos, I think. And, I'd recommend it to anyone. And I guess the thing is, I chose to walk my Camino from where I did, from Saint-Jean, in France, over the Pyrenees and the 790 kilometers. I chose to carry my backpack because that's what I wanted to do. But there's so many other ways. People walk shorter distances. People use the transport services to carry the bulk of their weight, and it's whatever feels right to a person. Just like in life, everybody chooses their own pathway. The Camino is your choice, how you want to walk your Camino. And, you know, I think it just represents life. It represents, you know, the hurdles, the sameness, the changes of your life. You know, you see the same thing on the Camino, the friendships that come and go, the friendships that stay. And yeah, it was a great experience, and I'm glad I did it.
If you would like more information about any of the Caminos, there are several links in the description below the video. We hope that you have enjoyed this video. If so, please do give it a like and subscribe to our channel. It really does help us to create more videos. Thanks so much. Gracias por verlo.